Number 1, use the average damage. Especially as a dungeon master. I do this all the time. I don't even roll my damages. I just use the average number, but then for crits, I just double the average. That's what I do. Super quick. I want to spend less time me playing by myself. I want the players to get going in combat. Now, if you were to use average damage for players, everyone's got to agree to it. It makes more sense for an actual play than it does a home game. It is absolutely a way to speed up combat. Number 2, initiative. Professor Dungeon Master, he mentioned once that Jeremy Crawford, one of the lead game designers at Dungeons and Dragons, uses static initiative for monsters. Basically, 10 plus dex equals the initiative, no rolling initiative for the DM. Boop, you're right there. I took the idea one baby step forward, and I really love this now. Monsters AC equals monsters initiative. It's the fastest it possibly could be, and it communicates to the players vaguely what the AC is. Is it the first thing on the initiative? Oh man, that's a high AC. It's going to be hard to hit. Is it really low at the 10? I don't know. Do you want to use this for your players? That again, this is similar to the average damage. Everyone's got to agree to it. I think it's interesting if everyone at the table uses this rule. The type of armor you use matters even more. It's kind of interesting. Instead of a breastplate, I'm going to move up to half plate so I can get an extra 2 on my AC. Or the rogue. I'm gonna hide behind this wall as everyone goes in, and then that gives me a +5 to my AC. The rogue instantly was probably gonna go first. Heck, what if your monsters are now hiding? So, interesting stuff. Absolutely speeds up combat. Go try it and tell me how shitty all these rules are in the comments by giving me a thumbs up. Number 3, rolling your damage and your attack at the same time. In my experience, it doesn't really speed things up. It depends on the player though. It doesn't speed me up, so I don't do it. My friend Jarrett speeds him up real fast. He gets really good at his rolls, and he rolls it all once. He's good at math in his head, so he can bust right through it. I'm not really good at math in my head. 4, if you have a question, please wait till your turn. This requires you to stop and talk to your players for a second before combat, before the game starts. Set the rule that if somebody has a question during combat, they have to wait till their turn. It speeds up combat a lot, guys, because everyone's always asking questions. Well, how about that? What's that going on? It allows me to focus one person at a time, and I don't get lost in the sauce. 2, who knows? Maybe someone has the same question as you before your turn, and I answer them, and now I've answered your question before your turn. And now you can focus on what you're going to do on your turn. 5, this is for Dungeon Masters specifically. Keep your players' AC, their spell DC, max HP behind your DM screen. For me, I have a little piece of paper that I printed, and I have that taped to the back of the clothespins with AC, DC, and HP. 3 most important things to know about your players when in combat. I don't track the player's HP. Knowing their AC, you don't have to ask, hey, does this hit spell DC? Rather than going, what do I have to roll to beat it? Just roll, you have the spell DC, and make sure you write wisdom, intelligence. If you have a fighter, I would put down their strength, so that way you can roll against grapple. If you have a monk, definitely put their dex, roll against that DC, put that down. It makes you stop asking questions. Does this hit you? What do I roll against? What's your HP? Just remove these 3 questions that Dungeon Masters ask the most from your vocabulary. Roll, hit, go. 6, this is something that other people have recommended for Dungeon Masters. I do this as a player and a Dungeon Master. Hey, it makes my gameplay a lot more fun. I don't subtract damage from my HP. I just add damage until I get to my max HP. Simple one, but it's definitely something that really can speed things up. Bonus tip 7, get rid of hit points and just do hits. How many hits does it take to kill something? What do I have here? Minions take 1 hit to kill. Beefy minion takes 2 hits to kill. A boss takes like 10 hits. Lieutenants, somewhere in the middle. You get the gist. It's not about the damage anymore, it's just about the hit and how many hits you can take. Lower resolution. That's a term that I really like when thinking about design. If you're interested in doing this, take the monster's HP divided by 10 and round up. And then you have how many hits it'll take to kill that monster. When you start entering the 3-digit level of hit points for like a dragon, that's gonna be about 30 hits to beat. You can do the same math that you did for the amount of hits it takes to kill a monster is how many hits the monster's taking. So what we can do is divide damage by 10 rounded up. I rolled 45 fire damage on my fireball. That's 5 hits. A little bit of math there, but faster tracking, less numbers, lower resolution. If you were to do this, here's a couple more tips. Critical hits, double. If you roll a nat 1 on a fireball save, double. That would be my tip if you were to do that. I have found that hits is drastically faster. It's great for a boss. Way better than doing hit points. It's so much better. So those are my 7 tips to speed up combat. Take it. Enjoy.